Okay, so welcome to Swatching Sundays. I figured this would be the best way for me to share with you the palettes that I do keep and swatch the whole palette. I just don't have time in the actual video to do that, or else the video would be 30 minutes long, and that is crazy. I wouldn't want to watch that every single time. So if you're interested in seeing what the palettes that I've received in the last week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I will do that on Sundays from now on. So this palette came in my Matchbox from Atenea, and this is the Sublime palette, 12 color eyeshadow palette. So take it out, and this is the interior packaging. Kind of reminds me of who does that, like softer packaging? Can't think of the brand. I'm losing it. Okay, so here's what the palette looks like before we start. They're the shades. Very pretty. So we're going to put this down. And today I have a wipe here, and I'm going to swatch with my finger on these. And I do have right here a whole bunch of brushes out ready to go. So we will be doing some of the palettes. I have 4 more, so there's 5 in total for today. So we're just going to get moving. First one is this brown, and that's what it looks like. And I don't know how I'm going to do this today because I'm on the opposite side. Here, this. That's pretty nice. I'm going to try to wipe my fingers off as I go. This way I'm not going to get this everywhere today. I just got it on my pants. The next one is light. That's pretty. These are nice and soft and feel very creamy. Very nice palette so far for the mattes. And the next one is here. Yes, I am getting... normally I do this the other way. So this is what it looks like on my finger. And then here is the swatch. That's kind of light, but that's a good transition shade right there. I think I'm going to have to switch my angle because this is getting awkward. So here, that's a real light shimmer right here. Can you see that? That's pretty. That's like a pinky shimmer. And then we have this one, which is more like a copper tone. Let's see if I can go on top, if that helps my angle. That's pretty. Ooh, I like that. They're great tones to use, like bronze and copper. And then this is a green. That feels a little rough, but let's see how that goes on. I'll just, hopefully, I know I'm casting a shadow. That's very pretty. Wow. Impressed. Good palette, Karen. This is from Matchbox. So that's the top row. This, and the mattes feel so creamy. I don't know where to put this. I'm just going to see if I can continue up my arm here. I'm going to switch my angle. That's pretty. Wow. Very pigmented. That is all over the place. Get that off. That got up under my nail. I don't know how. So then we'll try this pink. I mean, these are nice and feel nice and soft and creamy. So there's that. Let's come here. Oh, that's a pretty pink. I don't know if I'd wear that, but that's a nice pink shade. Okay. Just trying to make sure that they're off my fingers before I go back into another pan and then mix shades. Okay, so now we're going to go into this shade here. My finger, I don't know where. I'm going to have to see if I can come up my arm more. Right here. Wow, the mattes. I love the mattes. Oops, right there. Then we have these. These feel really nice. That's a real light pink. But that, oh, that is pretty. Oh, gosh, I'm off. Right here. Nice. And these are right here. That's like a copper. I'm just going to I'm going to come on my hand. I don't know. I'm going to switch my angle. I don't like this angle. That is beautiful. And then the last one we'll do on my little finger. Right here. And we'll come on my hand. I mean, these are beautiful. This palette performs wonderfully. Nice job. There's not one that was patchy or did not apply nicely. So this is the Atenea palette, Atenea brand, and the palette is Sublime. Very nice palette. Happy I decided to keep it. And let's move on to the next one. The next palette we're going to swatch is from Beauty Creations, and this is Tease, and this also came from Matchbox. So we'll get that out of the way. And I'm just going to show you the palette once again. Close up. It does come with a brush. I'm not going to use the brush today. Let me see if I can prop this up this way. That might be a little, so you guys can still see the name of the palette. Okay, let's try to keep that in focus. Okay, right there, so we're good. I feel like I'm a little crooked. Okay, so let's start with this one. You know, nice little neutral palette. Oh, these feel nice too. Beauty Creations is very nice. This is going to be awkward, but we're going to try this way. Oh, that is beautiful. I think I might come in from the other way. Oh, I like this. This feels so nice. So it's on my finger. And we're going to swatch. Pretty. Yep. The angle for me is off. But right here. Wow, these are swatching so beautifully. This is like a blue. Yeah, let me try to come up this way. I'm just going to use like my hand a little bit. You see that? That is pretty. Wow, these palettes are impressive. So this is a little darker. Come in on my hand. I mean, they go on beautifully. There's nothing patchy. I'm not getting like a ton in the pan, kick up in the pan. This is black. I'm not a fan of black, but you could use it for a liner. Let's just come in here. And that's like a gray black. That's not like super black. Then we have this chocolate. That's pretty. Great. Crease shade, you know, outer corner to darken. You could use it on your lid if you really wanted to smoke out your eye. So espresso is just a different shade of brown. Come in here. That's pretty too. There's nothing. This palette, this is a nice one. I love greens, believe it or not. And that's very light. You can still see it though. And then this one's going to be very light. This is cream. Let's just come here. Yeah, you can see that a little bit. You can see it on film, so that's good. That's really a nice palette too. Beauty Creations does not disappoint. I think I have a few of theirs. Not many, but happy to add these to my collection. So let's move on to a palette that I got in Ipsy. So this is the palette that I got in my Ipsy Open Studios box for October. And this is the Fall Edit by Estate Cosmetics. We'll open this up and I'll give you a close-up of what the palette looks like. This was really pretty. I was very interested in this one. So this is a close-up. Can you guys see the shimmer in that plaid? Is that plaid? I can't even read. You can see it. There's the reflect in it. Oh, that's going to be pretty. So I'm going to use a bottle of my perfume here just to prop so that you guys can still see the palette. And let's get started. So here we have That's a super light shade. I'm going to just try to maybe use my hand. That is very light. You can barely see that, but this is a good shade all over your lid color. You see, you guys are barely able to see that one. This one's going to be pigmented. I know it. Right there. That's a beautiful gold. Ooh. See, you can slightly see that right there. These are pretty. They feel wonderful. They don't feel, sometimes they feel like stiff and not creamy. Well, I'm excited to try this one. Right here. Ooh. That is beautiful. Just going to get these off my fingers. I'm excited. I think since I'm going to be doing swatching, I might get the templates off of Amazon. They're relatively cheap. And then this way, they stick to your arm. And then when I swatch inside the little area at the very end, I can take the template off, and then you can get like a full view of the entire palette. So I'm just letting my arm dry here. We'll dry it. Okay, so let's move on to here. This one looks nice too. That's a deep shade. Let's try that on my hand. Ooh, that is dark. Okay. This feels nice too. The shimmers are stunning. Like, look at them. They just look awesome. This is a great palette. And then the neutral brown, that's dark. I'm just going to come over here. Wow, that is pigmented. Ooh. Go light-handed with that unless you want super dark. I mean, you could always buff it out, but I would rather go light than dark. Can always build it up. Sometimes it's hard if you go in too heavy-handed. To lighten it up, you pretty much can ruin a look. So always, unless you've been doing this for years and you know the touch to get what you want, but I would always suggest a lighter hand. Initially, like I said, building up is easy. Taking away, not so. And that's just with everything and makeup included. So that they are swatches from the Estate Cosmetics Fall Edit Palette from Ipsy Open Studios. Okay, we're going to be swatching the Beauty Creations The Nudes palette. And this came from Matchbox for October 2022. Let's open her up. And this one I want to use brushes and see how this one works. This one is also a stunning palette right there. I have a whole bunch of brushes out, as you can see here. And as I use them to swatch, I just lay them all out. I tried to grab this time just all like shadow brushes instead of like some of these, which you can still put shadow down with these, but I prefer the fluffy ones to do this. I think it is a little better look. So let's come in here and let's get some shadow, and you can see that on the brush. And I'm gonna try, I don't remember the position I was in the last time. So that is that one. I mean, that is super light. I'm going to go in again, get a little bit more. And this I would definitely tap on rather than drag. You can, let me come this way. Super light. So let's use my finger directly underneath. And that's still pretty light. Like barely, you can this is the brush, and this one is my finger, barely. I think I'm going to use my finger. I don't think these are going to go on too well with the brush for right now, because a lot of these are shimmers. Pretty, like that. Where's a clean finger? Yeah, I think I'll use my finger for these. It's a lot easier. Wow. Pigmented. Let's make sure that's a clean finger. Which one did I just do? 1, 2, 3. So we're in 4. Is right here. Once again, pretty. Wow, these are beautiful. Look at that. Dark. All right, let's get these off my finger. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use my brushes for this one. I was going to definitely use it for the Iconic palette. But it seems like these are much better with with your finger, just because of the fact that they are shimmers, and usually they do apply nicer with your finger. I mean, you could initially lay down color with a brush, but I'm just drying my hand and my fingers so that nothing is damp. So let's try this one right here. Oh, that is like, is that a purple? That looks kind of purpley. Yeah, it's got like a little bit of a purple in it. Can you see that? Beautiful. And here's a matte. Now this one's going to be super, super light. Let's go down here with that. Yeah, you can barely see these. These are super light. Some of the light ones are super light. You can see it a little bit. Let's see some of these other mattes. Yeah, you can barely see the mattes. But this is a great shimmer. Yeah, I'm barely able to even see them, and I'm right in front of them. These are super light. That one you can see a little bit more. These are, yeah, I'm not a fan in this palette of the mattes, but the shimmers, whew, glitters, and they're not glitter, shimmers. They're beautiful, which is fine because there's more shimmers in here, or more, yeah, shimmers in here than not. So let me just dry everything again to make sure it's all good and dry. My fingers are dry. And let's move on. We have two more. I'll just swatch both of them. So we have that one. Yeah, see, these are stunning. There's nothing. So this one I would use more for the shimmer. Wow. And that looks like it's got a little brown to purple in person anyway. So not a fan of the mattes, but there's only 3 of them, so that's good, I guess. But I definitely love this one for the shimmers. The mattes are just super light, but also you could use the mattes that are super light as your base also. So let's move on to the last palette, and that's the Iconic palette. The next palette that we're going to be doing is the Iconic palette. Let's take her out and open her up. This is a nice palette too. I might have to move that back a little bit. Yeah, this one's going to be harder for you guys to see the pans, so I don't know. You can see them all. I'll bring, yeah, I don't know how to, oops, knocking everything. So we'll start at the bottom so you guys can get a good shot at some of the pans. I mean, it is a beautiful palette. Let's get this like, this is that's coming up green. That's not green. That is called Up Close. Let me see if I can alter. I'm going to lift the camera, but I'm stuck. Yeah, that's not, it's more of a tan color, but that's coming up green. So you can see all the shades up close. Okay. Now, let's get the camera back. This one's going to be a little harder to do for me. Okay, so I was going to try the brushes, but let's see. So there's a lot of kick back up in the pan. You see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's loaded on the brush. I don't know. See, I don't want, let me come back with the camera just a bit. I don't want this to be all over the other shades. So you can see where I'm putting that. I can see that. I don't think that that's going to show up on camera. But can you guys see all that powder in there? Yeah, you can. So that I'm not necessarily a fan of. And it's happening on all of them, which is, to me, a waste of product. So right there. And then we'll come in on this one. And just, once again, very light. I mean, I can barely see it, so I can't expect to show it to you. For there, and let's try these. This feels like a chunkier glitter right there. And that you would, I think, either have to use something, or let's try your finger right here. Yeah, that goes definitely better with your finger. Beautiful. So let's do these with our finger. Right here. And that one's very light. Am I a fan of this palette so far? I'm not thinking so. I only swatched a few. Maybe I'm going to be sorry I kept this one, but I guess it's better to know that, you know, and I'm getting powder everywhere, you know, product everywhere, I should say. So I'm just drying my hand so that there's no, yeah, so that was the top row. I'm not going to use brushes because it's not going to turn out well. Oh, that would be a nice highlighter, honestly. Do you see that? Beautiful. I would like that as a highlight, but you could use that in the inner corner, under your brow. That's pretty too. Like a brown color. This right here, that's a matte. Ooh, and that's patchy. Do you see that? Like, is it blendable? Yeah, because I can blend it with my finger. I got it everywhere. Oh, that shade is coming off because that's going to stain. So be careful with that one. That's got like a red base, and red is known to stain. I just probably kicked the camera, sorry. And I'm out of focus. Let's just come into focus again, please. I'm just trying to get that off because it's staining my... So I've arrived. I'm not a fan of. I don't like shades that... And reds are highly pigmented. The red pigment is bright. You know, it's just a deep pigment. I'm just trying to get that off my hands because I don't want... I will refocus in just a second. I'm just trying to get all that off. Let me just put a brush here. And hopefully then it'll... Yeah, there you go. There's your refocus. So not a fan of this right here. So the actual shimmers are beautiful. Right here. I mean, look at that. You guys can see that. I know you can. And this is mainly shimmers. So this is a great palette for shimmers. Ooh, beautiful. Which one? Okay, so I did two from there, purple and that. So let's do this one. I'm like forgetting what pan I'm on. That's like a coppery. Oh, that's pretty too. Beautiful. Do I have one more finger? Now this, I went light with that because that's a red. But that's not bad. I didn't have to go too light. That's pretty. I like. So far, I once again prefer the shimmers over the mattes. I mean, I don't like all that kick up in the pans like that. I mean, you're wasting so much. Like, if they would have made them creamier, that wouldn't happen. Honestly. I noticed that the creamier ones, when you swatch them, they don't have all that kickback in the pan. I mean, which is okay on some, but like I said, you're wasting product, and I have that red everywhere. Okay, let's dry my hand off, and we'll move on with the corner office, which is the purple here, which is a matte. And that might be pigmented. We'll maybe come here where I'm not wet. So you can see that. That's pretty. And then we're back into the shimmers, which I'll come up here. Wow. Beautiful. This one. I mean, these are beautiful. I don't know how many of these I would use. Like, this is a big palette just to keep for the shimmers, personally. I mean, there's every tone you could imagine, though. I'll use my thumb for this one. So that's a pretty purple. And then we'll come here. I like that. I mean, that's like a little bit of a gray purple. Just trying to get a wipe here. Get this stuff off. I like the purple, the matte purple, and the purple shimmer. That will look nice together, and mix it with, you know, other colors, another color. If you wanted to do an all purple look, that would be nice. Because you could use like different shades and then deepen it. I'm getting a little bit of makeup there. Trying to keep everything nice and neat and clean at the same time is kind of impossible. I have to give my hands a good wash and get all this off. I'm just drying up my hand here. So we just have the bottom row, which is like this is a duo. Right there. Let's see what you look like. Ooh, brown. Do you see the brown? And then it reflects. You see the different tones in the light? That's pretty. This is a beautiful color too. That's a little bit more brown with a little bit of purple in it. And then Power Player looks like either deep brown or black. That's more like a brown. And then this probably is black right here. Yeah, that's a black. I don't know too many people that would use a black. I need another white that would use a black shimmer, but I guess you could. I mean, if the black was matte, I would understand. You could use it for a liner. Usually like a black matte you could use to deepen your outer corner. If you didn't want to, you know, if some of your browns were not pigmented enough, you could use black lightly, not like a ton. But I'm not really thrilled with this palette. I mean, it's okay, honestly. So if you did get this one, let me know your thoughts. But like I said, you can see the powder that stayed in those, and it didn't do it in this one right here, but I used my finger in all fairness. And then this one down here is a nice little duochrome. See how that looks teal, but when you can see the darkness. But nice palette overall, just not a favorite for me. So I'd love to know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed seeing these palettes swatched. They're the only 5 that I'm going to be doing for this week. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your week to come. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye now.